Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. It is Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. This is episode 133. That's right, 133 episodes. I am recording this, after taking a long, hiatus, break, or whatever you want to call it. I had been under the weather, crazy stuff going on, just been really, really busy. But I was under the weather for about a good week or so, just having a really bad cough. I still kind of have it, if you can kind of tell the difference in my voice, but it was really difficult to even just talk at times or to have long conversations. I would just randomly start coughing and everything, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but if anything, if you hear me pause or anything like that, definitely just be patient with me if you don't mind. But with that being said, I do just want to go ahead and get this podcast out for you guys. I know that there's all kinds of stuff to go and talk about when it comes down to sports, when it comes down to the Dodgers, the Raiders, the Lakers, when it comes down to just all the sports in general. So with that being said, I do just want to take a quick minute. I do have a couple really, really big announcements there for you guys. If you guys have not done so already, definitely go ahead and follow me. You'll be getting all the information that I'm talking about as well. You can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Facebook, and you can find me on Twitter as well. It's going to be West Coast Pod 702 for Twitter and Instagram. If you want to find me on Facebook, just look up the name of the podcast, West Coast Sports Podcast, and you'll be able to go in and find me on there. The reason I'm asking you guys to go in and follow me because I actually have a new sponsor, a new promotion for you guys as well. I'll be talking all about it in the middle of the podcast, but just to go and let you guys know, the name of the place is called Prodoughg, Prodoughg, excuse me. If you guys haven't heard about it, it's a really great company that makes all kinds of pastries, donuts, you can whatever you can think about, like pastry wise, or kind of like sweets wise like that. They make these things that are incredibly healthy for you, where you can actually go ahead and not feel guilty about eating one, maybe even two of them or something like that. They're really high in protein, so if you're, a gym nut or something like that, or you like to go in and stay healthy, and you like to go in and hit the gym, and you want to build up some protein, great way to go in and be able to do so. I believe they even have like their own protein powder as well, if you're just looking to go in and have something as a protein powder rather than eating like a donut or eating one of their products like that. You also have that option. I'll be telling you guys all about what code to go and use in order to go in and get 10% off, and to also as well help out your boy, let them know that you've been listening to the podcast and that I'm doing my job. So with that being said, guys, I do just want to get right into the podcast here for you guys. I'm going to be talking all about the Raiders. As you guys know, they ended up making a signing. They ended up signing Jimmy G, as well as a couple other guys, Brandon Faison was one of them. I believe there's even another, I believe his last name was Epps or something like that, another cornerback or DB. So definitely some great pickups that we have, but the main big story we all know, it's Jimmy G getting signed to the Raiders. I'll let you guys know from the very get-go, I'm not that enthusiast, or I'm not that optimistic about it, or that happy about it, whatever you want to say. Honestly, I am there. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I guess I would say, at least not 100%. As of right now, my initial reactions, my initial thoughts are just, damn. To me, that's a bit of a stagnant move, if you would. Not to go in and say that, Derek Carr and Jimmy G are the exact same player, the exact same type of quarterback or anything like that, or to go in and say that they're equally as good or anything like that. In my opinion, maybe Jimmy G can be a little bit better off if he's in the right kind of system or something like that. We've been able to go and see that he has some talent, that he is a really good quarterback for the most part. But the thing is, he can't stay healthy. And with Derek Carr, that's the one thing that you knew for sure. For the 9 years that he's been the Raiders quarterback, he's only missed so many games, and they were due to injury or due to, unfortunately, just the team not wanting to go and play him anymore. So besides those reasons, besides a few times, if that he missed games, I want to say his entire career of the 9 years he was the Raiders quarterback, less than 10 games that he missed, if that. And Jimmy G, it's like every single season, you don't know whether if he's going to be able to finish it out or not. So to me, in my opinion, I would have even been better off with just going and rolling out Jared Stidham again. the only way now at this point that I think that it would be a good idea for them to go ahead and sign Jimmy G, or that the only way that this would work out now, is if they end up drafting some sort of a good, young quarterback or something like that. Whether if that means that one of the top guys, C.J. Stroud, or maybe, I don't know, Anthony Richardson, Will Levitt. If one of those guys, maybe falls down a little bit into the, what is it that we had, the 7th pick in the first round, maybe that'll be a good idea. Maybe that'll be a good route to go. You build somebody up. You're going to have him play behind Jimmy G a couple years. Maybe then you roll him out. Then you move on from Jimmy G, and then you have a good young quarterback who's known the system already now for a couple years, and then has some amazing talent, and then he's out there just displaying it. That in my opinion would be the better way to go. Maybe the only way that I think a lot of Raider Nation, because if you guys haven't seen, a lot of Raider Nation is definitely not happy about this one. There are some, even some professionals, some of the people in the media definitely think that this is a good idea, that this was a good move. You have, and I can definitely see it. You have Josh McDaniels. He knows the system when it comes down to Jimmy G. They have some sort of rapport, even though he only had 2 starts out there in New England. But since then, even his work over in San Francisco was good. You see overall just what he could be overall. His winning percentage as a quarterback is definitely up there. I think he's in the top 10, but in my opinion, he doesn't have the longevity as a lot of those other guys do. Even Mahomes, dude has proved it. Mahomes is probably I don't even know how to say it, but the best case scenario example on that one, I think, because dude's only been in the year for so many years, but he hit the ground running. He freaking ended up making a splash from the very get-go, So, in my opinion, though, with Jimmy G, since the guy has so many great weapons around him, with Josh Jacobs, you got Devontae Adams, you got Darren Waller, you got Hunter Renfrow, maybe this would work. We've seen that sometimes you don't need a super dynamic quarterback or anything like that. Of course, it helps. It definitely helps in order to have a Patrick Mahomes or something like that, or even a Jalen Hurts, but when it comes down to it, you definitely can see that having these weapons that Jimmy G is going to have is definitely going to make life a lot easier for him. And if he knows what kind of stuff Josh McDaniels wants to do, then I think it'll be a good idea, at least to go ahead and give him maybe this wasn't their number one choice. It seems like maybe for sure the whole Tom Brady thing was just smoke. It was just rumors. It seems like for sure the guy is going to be retired. He's done from the sounds of it. Now, I'm pretty sure we could get a surprise or something out of nowhere, but we'll see what happens. The other thing, Aaron Rodgers, it seems like he's for sure going to the Jets, especially after this now. Yesterday I was actually talking to my coworker Evan, so shout out to you, bro. We were actually talking about how it's a little ironic how Brett Favre kind of took the same path as what Aaron Rodgers is doing now. He played so many years for the Packers, and Jordan Love sat behind him for 3 years, Aaron Rodgers sat behind him for 3 years, and Jordan Love took his turn now, and now it's kind of history repeating itself. Aaron Rodgers going over to the Jets. I'm gonna laugh so hard if he actually finds his way going over to Minnesota. Then that'll be something really crazy. But we'll see what happens when it comes down to all that. I definitely think this is gonna make things really, really interesting as far as all the movement that's been going on. But it is gonna be definitely interesting to see what's gonna happen with the Raiders here, guys. In my honest opinion, it's just one of those things that we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens in the draft. Maybe it'll make more sense then. Maybe that's when they draft the young quarterback, and you're like, okay, maybe Jimmy G, he gets some success or something like that, and he finds a way. I don't know. If this was their plan, because my opinion, Dave Ziegler was going on and on and on and on in the media sometimes about this plan that he has, and that nothing yet has gone away from that plan. So if this was his plan, to get Jimmy G from the get-go, and to maybe get a young guy in the draft and build him up from there, and build around Jimmy G and what you got currently through the draft. Try to draft as many people as you can, or as many great players as you can. And if that works out, and if they can maybe find their way, if they could just make a playoff run like this, then I think a lot of Raider Nation will come around. I think if they start winning games, a lot of Raider Nation will come around, and they'll be like, okay, maybe they do know what they're doing, In my opinion, though, it's going to have to take them to show us that they know what they're doing in order for Raider Nation to really get on board. Because from all the talks that were going around, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, possibly moving up to the number 1 pick in the draft, all these different options that I think everybody in Raider Nation would have been way happier with than this one. I think that's the only reason really why we are seeing so much disappointment, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. I am hoping, I forget how far away the draft is. It feels like it's forever from now, but be interesting to see when what happens in the draft and what's going to happen later on. So far what I'm seeing, all the signings that the Raiders are making make sense. They're bringing in some really good quality defensive players, and then you're just kind of shoring up in some of the other areas that you need some help in. I'll be interested again to go and see what Jimmy G is. A lot of people ask, is Jimmy G better than Derek Carr? Maybe. If he stays healthy, then yeah, maybe I'll leave that. Maybe it turns into more of like a yes. Not a definite yes, but a yes. Again, it's one of those things. If you put Derek Carr in the right kind of situation, you get him a solid offensive line, get him some weapons around him, get him a solid defense. Not anybody, but a lot of quarterbacks can win with that. It's gonna take those extra little things. Those things that make people from a normal, everyday, maybe game management quarterback or whatever to a spectacular quarterback. And I know both of them kind of have that thing. They both are really smart kind of quarterbacks. They really kind of, play the game instead of really just trying to sling the ball around and everything. And that's important. You don't want a guy who's just gonna risk so much in order to go and maybe get the victory, but in other senses maybe make it easier for the defense in order to go and make some plays and kind of turn the tables on you. You definitely want a guy who knows the overall feel of the game, how everything's going, to make your chances better. Want to sort of give you the best opportunity in order to go and win. So in my opinion, again, we'll just have to go and wait and see. A lot of Raider Nation, I think, is just overreacting, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are just thinking that maybe it's true that Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels are just bringing in people that they know, bringing in people that they think are gonna, and maybe that'll work. It's just one of those things that we just have to wait and see. And unfortunately, we're in this kind of predicament where I really don't think these guys are going to get fired unless if this season ends up being another bad one or something like that, But we'll have to wait and see what happens. And unfortunately, that is a lot of what has happened, or a lot of our reactions on these past so many years. We just have to wait and see. But it is what it is when it comes down to it, guys. I am just going to be interested in seeing exactly how everything's going to be playing out. Expect podcasts on every single one of these things that come up with the Raiders, from the draft to other signings that come up and everything. We'll be talking all about it here on the podcast. So I am just going to take a quick minute to go in and talk to you guys again about ProDough. If you guys haven't heard about ProDough, again, it's PRODOUGH. Definitely go ahead and check them out. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. You have to go ahead and use my code. Get ready. Alright, guys? You guys can get 10% off on any kind of purchases that you make on there. It's going to be WestPod702. Again, that's WESTPOD 702. Alright? So WestPod702. Go ahead and check out ProDough. You guys can order anything that you guys want on there. You guys get 10% off for your order by using that promo code. and that'll let them know that I'm doing my job, that I'm letting you guys know about this. I'm actually waiting on my first order. I can't wait to go in and try a couple of these donuts, a couple of I actually got protein shake in order to go ahead and make sure that, I don't know if I told you, but your boy's trying to get back into the gym, trying to get a little bit more healthier and everything, trying to, drop a couple of these LBs, if you know what I mean. But overall, just, it's a great company. It's a great company to go ahead and get healthy. If you want something sweet that you're not going to feel guilty about eating it later on, definitely a great product to go in and check out. If you want protein powder, great protein powder that they have as well. Really tasty. Everything tastes amazing. So, not only are you eating something healthy, but it's also tasting good. That's kind of hard to find nowadays. You know what I mean? It's hard to find something that's healthy for you and tastes good for you, But again, definitely go ahead and check them out, guys. If you guys haven't done so already, Prodoughh, Prodoughh. And don't forget to use my promo code again, guys. WestPod702. Thanks again, and I'll make sure to go and talk to you guys about them later on. If you guys have any questions, definitely go ahead and shoot me up any kind of a DMs or anything like that, and let me know if you guys have any questions about that podcast or anything sports related. So with that being said, guys, I do want to just wrap up a couple things here. Give you guys just a quick update on the Dodgers and the Lakers. Lakers are actually underway today. Are playing tonight against the Pelicans. Excuse me. So playing against the Pelicans tonight. They are 33-35. They ended up splitting a pretty rough weekend. People may maybe say that the Knicks game was really bad game and this and that and blah blah blah. But again, it's just growing pains. I think with the way that the team has been playing lately, they're just playing hard. That's the way that they've been able to go and get it done. They're playing hard. They're playing really, really rough. They're doing everything that they can. When it comes down to it, D'Lo's been amazing ever since he's came back, and I think that's going to be a big emphasis on the team. But we'll have to go in and we'll have to see how this game plays out. They have the Rockets after this, and I think that these games are just not easy, but winnable games for them. Just play hard, continue to go ahead and do what you guys have been doing. Continue to go ahead and build off of everything that you guys are working on, so that way they can go ahead and continue to stack up these wins. They are 8-10 in the last 10 games, so it's definitely a great thing. Or 8-4, I think, in the last 12. So either way you want to spin it, whatever way, they've been playing like 700, 800 basketball lately. So definitely great to go in and see that the team is getting things together, they're getting things right overall. We have a chance to even make it into like the 6th seed, so that way you're not even involved in the play-in tournament. But again, it's going to take some wins to get stacked, and some of the other teams that are above us to go in and lose, of course. But I'll keep you guys updated on all that. Today, again, should be a really good game. It should be a game where maybe AD can go and dominate a little bit. Maybe some of the other players kind of get their things going a little bit in the right direction. Malik Beasley getting out of a slump lately, and maybe even some of the other players kind of getting more involved as they used to. It seems like sometimes whenever AD and D'Lo are not on the floor, maybe that was one of the things that can maybe change, having one of them on the floor at all times. Maybe it'll help out a little bit more with the team. But I have been noticing whenever they're both out, team really struggles, just like whenever LeBron is out, just like whenever AD is out. But hopefully some things can kind of change around and they can figure out some kind of different rotations on that. With the Dodgers are just still under spring training. There's a lot of talks about this guy, James Outman. If you guys haven't heard about him, center fielder, really strong bat. Dude's looking like he's a really great defender as well. So he's making a really good case for himself for a potential starter. If not like Trace Thompson or something like that, but seems like even maybe JD Martinez, but he might be the DH, or who knows what route they're going to go with all that. But we'll just kind of